Building guitar necks, Part 2. Start by routing the slot for your truss rod. Route to a depth just a hair deeper than the nut width of your truss rod. Then, remove your template. And double check the fit of your truss rod. Drill an access hole for the truss rod. Do this through an additional slot just on the other side of where your nut would land, made to the same depth as your truss rod slot. Then, install your truss rod into the slot and add a couple pieces of masking tape balled up on top of it. Then add an additional piece of masking tape over the entire length of the slot. This keeps glue from entering into the slot when you apply the fretboard, and it keeps the truss rod from rattling within the slot when it is not under tension. Then apply wood glue to your neck and use a scraper to spread it out thinly and evenly. Add a caul to your neck. This is just a piece of scrap wood, and what it will do is serve to spread out the pressure from the clamps and provide an even pressure across the entire length of the fretboard. Don't overclamp this. If you imagine squeezing the fretboard onto the neck with your hands, you want to clamp each one of those down to about that much, maybe a little bit less. Do not overdo it and starve the joint of glue. After 24 hours, remove the clamps and the caul, and then trim the excess fretboard flush to the neck. Then mark out the headstock thickness. I'm using a square and a pencil for this. And then cut out the thickness of the headstock. You could use a bandsaw or a coping saw or any other method for this. Cut just shy of the pencil line, and then smooth it out using your Shinto saw rasp or your razor file or anything else you have on hand. This is roughly how it should look when you are finished. Then begin to shape the back of the neck. Draw a center line down the length of the neck, as well as a center line on either side of the neck. Then bisect those lines, and using a Shinto saw rasp or whatever you have on hand, cut to those lines. Repeat this process several times until your neck looks about how you believe your neck should look, and until you believe you could reach the desired result with some sandpaper. When you're done, sand the neck. Do not go past 400 grit, as there will be some additional work to do later on in our process. You may notice I added a piece of teak to the back of the headstock. This was to make the back of the headstock match the control plate material that I'm using on the body of the guitar.